Our military veterans, they have sacrificed and served our country, and our next guests want to make sure veterans get the utmost respect when it comes time for their final goodbye. Diana and Vas Barrows of Legacy Funeral Home, they are here now to talk about funeral services specifically for veterans. Great to have both of you here.
Good.
And I've heard of veteran benefits, funeral benefits, but what does that cover, Diana, as far as the funeral and the burial?
So a veteran is entitled to burial at the National Cemetery, which is located here in Phoenix, and that entitles him to the burial place of burial plot, which could cost about $3,000 outside of the veteran cemetery. That includes the burial plot, the outer burial container, which is the vault, which would be about $1,200, the headstone or plaque is about $500.
And what about the services themselves?
Okay, the services themselves would not be covered by the veterans. The family would have to pay for them themselves.
Right.
That would be to the funeral home. But
okay, so that's what the veteran is left with.
Right.
Okay,
right.
so we're talking about $5,000.
About $5,000 for the veteran and also his spouse.
All right, so Vas, when you get the call that you're going to be taking care of a family, a veteran, what about those out of state? Because a lot of families are out of state. What do you guys do as far as, are you able to ship the body out of state to those families?
Yes, there are a lot of people that have family out of state, and we coordinate with other funeral homes in other states. We have special air trays that hold the casket and the remains that we put together, and working with the other funeral homes and the airlines together, we are able to ship people to their loved ones in another state.
I can imagine, because I'm sure you get that call quite a bit from families who are just distraught, and it's an emotional time. And then you've got that extra, the veteran, on top of it. So dignity is very important. And I know, Diana, you serve as a compassionate outreach liaison for these families. How important is it at your funeral home to make sure that you keep that dignity, you keep that respect, and you give them the ultimate funeral that they so desire?
Well, we love serving our veterans, and we, of course, give everyone our special touch, but for veterans, we especially are careful with timing and every last detail. They get honors at the National Cemetery. We schedule for those, so we want to make sure that everything is done precisely and on time and with honor.
As a veteran would expect,
with
right?
honor,
And as
yes.
a family would
With
expect.
honor.
So, Vas, when planning ahead of time for your funeral, where is the money for the funeral? Where does it stay?
Well, funeral homes aren't allowed to take money ahead of time for planning. So we work with insurance companies that only deal with funeral insurance. So the money that is created for the overall planning process, so your overall arrangement cost, the burial, the casket, the service, all that money goes into a policy that is held by an insurance company. So at the time of death, if you sign up with us and you go out of state, then that policy follows you to the funeral home that's closest to you.
Oh, Legacy Funeral Home really prides itself on making sure that you really give that final goodbye with the utmost care. A compassionate care liaison is exactly what you do.
Well,
that's very vital.
You know what? We are a family-owned and operated funeral home, and we just believe service above all else is doing right for the person, and then that will come back to us, tenfold. So
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for this beautiful display. This is beautiful. Legacy Funeral Home, they have 4 locations: Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Sun City. Give them a call today. 480-725-9696 is the number to call, or visit them online, azlegacyfuneralhome.com.